Well, you told me that you were working full-time for him when we did the interview. So are you now saying that that was a lie?
Eyewitness investigator David Hammer confronts a city gas inspector after a state hearing in Baton Rouge. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Sharice Gibson.
And I'm Karen Swenson. More fallout tonight from David's exclusive investigation of New Orleans gas and plumbing permits.
A state agency revoked that inspector's license, blocking him from working as a private contractor. So this is all part of a much larger investigation. Here's David with the latest.
New Orleans gas and mechanical inspector Buddy Fresh signed this application to the Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors in 2019, swearing under oath that he was working full-time for a contractor called Hermanos Rivera Construction. Last month, Fresh told us he worked full-time on the side for Hermanos Rivera while also working full-time at the city, making sure residential gas lines are installed safely.
But I do work 60 hours a week minimum, and you can ask anybody that I know.
But he changed his tune when the state licensing board questioned him under oath Thursday.
Again, you were not employed, correct?
Correct.
The state board revoked Fresh's plumbing and mechanical licenses for lying on his application.
You don't have anything to say about how you're going to do your job as an inspector when you're
If
admitting?
you've done your investigating, you'll find that I resigned last week.
Hermanos Rivera owner Ricardo Rivera told the board he did construction work for Fresh, even building a house for him in exchange for Fresh's plumbing license. Commissioner Vic Weston said that's a serious violation.
It's a very serious matter with this board for you to lend or sell your license.
Yes.
And quite frankly, that is exactly what you have done.
By losing his plumbing license, Rivera said he must abandon 40 open plumbing permits in New Orleans.
What's going to happen to those now that you don't have a qualifying party for
You
plumbing?
can go ask them.
The FBI raided the Sewerage and Water Board's plumbing department to get the paper-only plumbing permits 2 weeks ago, just hours after our report on the head of that department, Jay Arnold, and one of his inspectors, Vernon Marcotte, pulling gas permits for unlicensed subcontractors. We found Arnold's staff was approving Fresh's private plumbing work, while Fresh was approving most of Arnold and Marcotte's private gas work. The licensing board's investigative chief, Brad Hassert, said his agency is investigating to make sure work, especially with gas, is done safely and inspected properly.
When a contractor whose license allows someone who hasn't taken the time to learn their craft or to prove that their skill level is sufficient to use their license, the public is the one who ultimately is injured by that.
Injured financially or potentially worse. David Hammer, Eyewitness News.
The Sewage and Water Board suspended Arnold and Marcotte after David asked about their private gas permits. Mayor Cantrell presided over the Sewage and Water Board meeting this week and said the employees, not the agency, are under investigation, adding, quote, "We are not corrupt."